Hello and welcome back to Chapter 10. This is learning objective number 2, computing direct materials price and quantity, and looking at the variances and their significance. Okay, so we're going to look at this example. Feel free to grab a screenshot because we're going to be looking at the material price variance and the material quantity variance. This is Glacier Peak Outfitters, I guess, hence the winter theme, winter life. Direct materials standards for fiber fill in its mountain parkas. Okay, not skis, parkas this time. 0.1 kilogram of fiber fill per parka is used at $5 per kilogram. That is our standard quantity and material. And last month, 210 kilograms of fiber fill was purchased and used to make 2,000 parkas at a total cost of $1,029. So what we think is going to happen and what actually happened. Let's go to Excel and do those calculations. All right, so welcome to Excel. I have a screenshot of our example walkthrough as well as the general model for variance analysis from which we have derived our formulas from. So as I described before, we have on the left hand side our material price variance in this example, and using algebra we are going to pull out the AQ from both sides. So we have material price variance is equal to AQ times by our AP less SP, and that's good. We're holding AQ constant, looking at the difference in price, hence the price variance. Okay, so, and then similarly over here, our material quantity variance is going to be equal to pulling out SP from both. SP times AQ less SQ, and yep, that sounds good. Holding the standard price consistent. What's the difference in the quantity that we actually thought we were, or that we actually used versus what we thought we were going to use? Cool. All right, so digging in a bit deeper, let's fill out let's have our inputs. So we need AQ, AP, SP, and SQ. Okay. So first on our material price variance, what is our AQ? So we have AQ, and that is going to be equal to 210. So that's what do we actually use? We used 210 kilograms. Cool. And then we had AP, actual price, right below, and we know that we had material cost of $1,029 and used to make 2,000 parkas, but our actual material cost per parka is going to be $1,029 in total, divided by our 2,000 parkas, and that gets us not our standard price. Let me just double check. Apologies. This needs to be our total price divided by the kilograms that we use, because right, we need everything to be in kilograms, not per parka. So this should be our 1029 divided by the 210 kilograms that we actually used. All right, so that gives us 49. Okay, and then what else do we need? We have U, we need the SP. So SP, we typically have $5 per kilogram. Cool. So again, this is all per kilogram, and this is $5. All right. So now let us figure out our material price variance, and that is going to be, I guess I can just put it here. That's going to be our AQ, 210 times by our AP less our SP, and we get a material price variance of 21. Now, is this 21 going to be favorable or unfavorable? Well, let's take a look at our inputs. We have AP of $4.90 and a standard price of $5. So we actually spent less than we thought we were going to be. So this is going to be a 21F. This is going to be a 21 favorable. F for favorable. All right. Cool. All right. Let's take a look at the same thing, but the other side for our quantities. So what is our material quantity variance going to be? I don't know why I put Probably because I want to be like MCQ. Okay. Material quantity variance. Okay. That is our SP times our actual quantity used minus our standard quantity used. So we need to make sure that we have our SP, our AQ, and our SQ inputs. Our standard price is going to be the same that we calculated over here, the $5. Well, calculated or grabbed from up here. That's what's standard happening. Our actual quantity was that we actually bought 210 kilograms, because again, this is going to be in kilograms. And now figuring out what our standard quantity would have been is going to be equal to our 0.1 kilograms of fiber fill times by the 2,000 parkas that we manufactured last month. And that gives us 200, we expect to use 200 kilograms of materials for this, for the amount of parkas that we used. All right, time to math this up. And that equals our standard price of 5 times by our actual quantity of 210 minus our standard quantity of 200. And that gives us a 50. Now is this a positive 50, but what does that mean? Well, it means that we spent more than we thought because our actual quantity used was 210. We thought we needed to use 200. So this is going to be a $50 variance of U or unfavorable. Okay. So together, what is the total variance and the total flexible budget variance equals $29, and that is going to be a 29 unfavorable. So we spent more than we thought by $29 this month. So anyways, let's just highlight these for easy review later. Here we go. Sure, this color, kind of almost the same color. And maybe you might do some in green, some in black, red. I don't know, whatever your preference is. And yes, I am going to go make this a shade lighter because why not? Okay, cool. So that is our relatively moderate to long walkthrough. Let's see if we can do this. First, let's talk about why we're doing this, and then let's look through an example where we're going to go a little bit quicker and on your own, perhaps. All right, I'll see you in the slides. Boom, here we are. And we just did this example. Let us talk about why do we do what we do with variances. So these variances that you just encountered should be isolated and brought to the attention of management as quickly as possible. We want to talk about the purchasing manager. Hey, cool, good job. You got a cheaper price. And then we want to talk to the production manager. Hey, why'd you use more? We need to look at the most significant variances first, as they could be red flags that require further investigation. Since the production manager is responsible for the material quantity variance, and if the manager say perhaps, since the production manager is responsible for the materials quantity variance, it's important to understand what happened. Since the standard price is used to compute the quantity variance, the production manager is not held responsible for the purchasing manager's performance. So it's important to note, if the purchasing manager purchases cheap materials, more of it might need to be used in production, and then this would cause an unfavorable quantity variance. So yeah, let's dig in. Like, why the heck did we use more than we thought we would? And why was the price cheaper than it was? Is there problems? Because overall, it's an unfavorable variance. So we definitely really do care, because it's not like we got cheaper and used less. No, we got cheaper and we used more. In fact, we wiped out all of our savings by that use. So let's talk to the purchasing manager. But also know that there might be an example where it's backwards. And perhaps a poor schedule by the production manager might have required the purchasing manager to make a rush order for materials at a higher price, and that might result in an unfavorable price variance. So we really need to know what each manager is responsible for, what the variance is, and what the heck happened that month. We do that so we can isolate the numbers, figure out what happened, and identify and fix them and correct them on a timely basis so that we don't incur same or similar issues in future months and quarters and years. All right, so now it is time for you. We're going to be using this set of case facts for the next 2 quick checks, and then that's it for this lecture video. So I really do encourage you to pause this video, see if you can calculate the material price variance and the quantity price variance, and we'll check back. So I will go through each one of them in a debrief, but yeah, suggest you to pause this video, try it on your own, and then I will see you in a few moments. Thank you. All right, welcome back. Let us figure this out. Hansen has the following DM standard materials to 1 zippy, 1.5 zippy at $4 per kilograms. But last week, 1,700 kilograms of materials were purchased and used to make 1,000 zippies. The material cost of this total was $66.30. What is the material price variance MPV for this week? All right, so let us look. We're looking at material price variance, and that is going to be equal to our AQ times by our AP less SP. So let us figure out those variances. Let us figure out AQ equals AP equals SP equals, so that we have our inputs. All right, so our actual quantity used, we're going to be 1,700 kilograms